Welcome back to This Week in Torah. This week, Jewish communities around the world will be celebrating the festival of Shavuos, a Hebrew word that translates simply to weeks. If you were looking at this tradition from the outside, or even if you grew up with it, you might wonder why one of the most pivotal historical moments on the calendar is named after a basic unit of time. Shavuos marks the culmination of a deliberate 49-day countdown that begins at Passover. Passover is a story of physical liberation, breaking free from the chains of tyranny, leaving Egypt and escaping historical bondage. But physical freedom on its own is just a blank canvas. It is a vacuum. Shavuos represents the moment we find out what that freedom is actually for. It commemorates the gathering at the base of Mount Sinai, where a newly liberated people stood together to receive the Torah, the foundational blueprint of law, ethics, and ultimate spiritual purpose. Historically, Shavuos was an agricultural milestone, the festival of the first fruits, a time of profound gratitude for the harvest. Today, without the ancient temple, the celebration has transformed into an internal intellectual harvest. If you walk into a synagogue or a Jewish home this week, you'll encounter a few beautiful enduring traditions. Staying up all night. Across the globe, people stay awake until dawn, studying sacred texts. It is a night of intellectual wakefulness, actively choosing to meet the dawn with open books and open minds. The Book of Ruth. We read the biblical story of Ruth, an outsider from the nation of Moab, who out of pure love, loyalty, and sensitivity chose to embrace this path. Her journey reminds us that true wisdom isn't a matter of genetic inheritance. It belongs to anyone with a sincere heart. Dairy foods. It is customary to eat rich dairy foods like cheesecake and blentzes, traditionally symbolizing the sweetness of knowledge and the idea that spiritual truth provides elemental nourishment. To understand the deeper architecture of this day, intermediate and advanced learners alike often look to a textually striking paradox. Nowhere in the written Torah does the text actually give us a specific calendar date for Shavuos. It never says, on the 6th day of the 3rd month, we shall celebrate. Instead, it simply commands us to count 50 days from Passover. The great 19th century sage, Rabbi Moses Sofer, the Chasam Sofer, takes this anomaly and uncovers a profound psychological truth in his discourses on the Omer. He asks why the process requires a daily verbal count. The Chasam Sofer explains that genuine spiritual and intellectual growth cannot happen in a single emotional leap. Lasting transformation requires a daily, incremental expansion of our internal capacity. For the Chasam Sofer, Shavuos isn't just a celebration of a historical gift dropped from the heavens. It is the graduation ceremony of a 49-day intensive restructuring of human character. We don't just show up and receive wisdom. We must manually build the internal scaffolding required to hold it. The 20th century philosopher and master Talmudist, Rabbi Joseph Ber Soloveitchik, affectionately known as the Rav, deepened this concept by looking at the nature of time itself. The Rav noted that by leaving the date of Shavuos dependent entirely on human computation, God effectively handed dominion over the sacred calendar to humanity. The Rav argued that this reveals the core difference between servitude and freedom. The slave is entirely passive. Time happens to them. A free person, however, masters time. When we count the days, analyze ancient ethics, and apply timeless principles to complex modern dilemmas, we cease to be passive recipients of history. The Rav teaches that we become co-creators with the divine. We are not meant to simply bow before a stagnant doctrine. We are tasked with sanctifying the raw material of time, taking abstract spiritual concepts and translating them into an intentional human destiny. So what is the practical takeaway for us today, whether we're navigating these texts for the first time or the 1000th? First, Shavuos reminds us that meaningful change requires deliberate preparation. We do not stumble into moments of profound clarity, nor do we build a better world by accident. We count our way there, choice by choice, day by day. Second, it reminds us that wisdom is inherently democratic and dynamic. Like Ruth, anyone can claim it. And like the vision of the Rav, it demands our active, lived participation. We cannot be passive consumers of moral truths. We have to live them, wrestle with them, and bring them to life in our communities through kindness, depth, and an uncompromising intensity. This week, let's choose not just to remember a moment of history, but to actively participate in it. Let's make our days count, stay awake to the needs of the world around us, and receive our purpose anew. Thank you for joining us on This Week in Torah. Chag Sameach, and have a beautiful and meaningful holiday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you next week.